So, hey guys, and welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator. So, thanks to Dominic Smith, a friend of mine and the editor of flightsim.com, I've been able to gain access to the beta preview of the simulator, which is set to release on August the 18th. So, anything you see on screen today is subject to change, and I'm certain there will be a lot of updates before the sim does arrive, and let me tell you, I am very excited to show you some gameplay today. So, I thought to kickstart things, we do a flight that I have done in the real world, also in the Airbus A320neo, and that was an EasyJet flight from London Luton to Inverness. So I did that back in March, and I thought it'd be a nice way to kind of slowly bring things into the new sim and showcase what it has to offer. So, without any further delay, let's get right into it and let's start preparing this aircraft ready for flights. First things first, we shall turn on the battery. Let's open up the ATC panel, request the ground services of what we need. First thing is the fuel truck.
Luton ground Easy 153, could you please send a fuel truck? Easy 153, a fuel truck is on the road.
Let's now call a ground power unit.
Luton ground Easy 153, could you please send a ground power unit? Easy 153, a ground power unit is on the road.
Let's call the baggage service for passenger
Luton
luggage.
ground Easy 153, could you please send the baggages? Easy 153, the baggages are on the way.
And finally, let's connect the stairs to the
Luton ground
aircraft.
Easy 153, could you please
You
send
see
a
the
ramp?
external power is now ready.
Easy 153, a ramp is on its way.
And while we wait for the services to arrive, let's us have moments to look around the aircraft, shall we? If I can remember the combination for drone cam, there we go. So as you can see, all now starting to come together. You got this guy here standing by the wing. Got the air stairs connecting up to the aircraft now. You've got the pushback tug ready for when we're departing. And also this very American style ground power unit. So it's basically just a boxer truck with a massive engine strapped to the back of it. One thing you'll realise with the simulator is that it uses a lot of American standard for both air traffic control and ground services. So ATC, they'll use altimeter in mercury as opposed to hectopascals, and a lot of other things as well you'll notice as well. So order of communication, that kind of stuff. Fuel truck, I think actually spotted, was coming around the corner now. Yes, there he is, just there. So wait for you to position yourself underneath the wing. While you're doing that, let's start programming the flight. So we're going from Echo Golf Golf Whiskey to Echo Golf Papa Echo, Luton to Inverness. Cosmic stay is 5 with cruising altitude of 280, 28,000 feet. Not the highest cruise there, I must admit, but we do get a nice view of the Scottish Highlands once we start descending into Inverness. So definitely keep an eye out for that. At night, a chance to see the scenery at its best, to be fair. I mean, as you guys are almost certainly aware, the entire world is covered with satellite imagery. I'm not sure what that guy's doing there, just buzzing along with the trolleys. Yeah, like I said, the simulator is in beta right now. There will be some changes, bug fixes and tweaks before it does release, so not a final representation of what you guys will be seeing on the 18th, don't you worry. Yeah, the satellite imagery around the world is phenomenal, and I'm sure once we are in the air, we get a chance to look down at that. You guys too will get to see what we've been playing with for the last couple of weeks. Right, fuel truck's in position. I require 6,512 kilos, but again, American standard, we'll be measuring it in pounds. So we're going to need 14,357, which is about that actually. Payload I'm quite happy with, so we'll kill that. Back to the FMS, and we'll start programming the rest of the initialization. So, zero fuel weight is 50.2. Center of gravity is 21.6. That is that. Head over now to the flight plan. And let's program our routes today. Now, one thing that I have noticed is that waypoints are all there. I've not noticed any problem with those. You can fly wherever you want, not a problem. The Airways, however, you do get the odd one that is missing. So if I start programming our flights, first waypoint is Olney. Then our first airway, Tango 420. That works fine, it's there, no problem. Next waypoint, TNT, Tango November Tango. After that, Uniform November 57. Unfortunately, however, that is not there, so an AIRAC cycle update certainly wouldn't go amiss, but for the most part, you can fly from A to B without too many problems. So program the rest of our waypoint info pole to Tango Lima Alpha to Foil. Foil being our top of descent. Following that, we then fly to Nesty. Direct to Gussie. And our final waypoint, direct to India November Sierra, INS. Now it's like I've actually dragged the deceleration point in there as well at some points. No, actually, I think that may be alright. If I were to clear it, yeah, we can live with that. Okay, insert that. Let's go back to the front and let us, well, turn on fuel pumps at least because the aircraft has been fueled up. And let us go to clearance. We'll get the ATIS information and then we will get our clearance to Inverness.
Luton Airport information, Sierra 1700 Zulu, wind 200 at 18 visibility, tree, sky condition, few clouds at 1,000 feet, few clouds at 4,100 feet, few clouds at 12,300 feet, temperature 282.10, altimeter 29.78, ILS
2978.
landing and departing runway 25, BFR aircraft, say direction of
Runway 25, okay.
short instructions, advise controller on initial contact, you have Sierra.
And we've got information to Sierra, so we're going to runway 25 today, which is just behind us basically. That means that our departure will be a little bit curved, so we're going to head north. So we're going to take off to the southwest, we need to head northeast. Request IFR clearance to Inverness. Let's also get our squawk number as well.
IFR to Inverness, ready to copy. Easy 153 is cleared to Inverness Airport as filed.
1056.
Climb and maintain 8,000 feet. Departure frequency is 118.47.
Go for sea departure runway 25 via the only one Charlie I need. 2 Bravo will work. Insert that, acknowledge, and prepare the aircraft now ready for departure. One thing you will notice, in terms of ATC, the LNAV works fine. You can plug in your waypoints, the aircraft knows where it's going. VNAV, however, not quite. It doesn't calculate any of the altitudes, despite the fact I have programmed it as it should. But again, VNAV is one of those things that I'm sure we'll be seeing in the near future. Hopefully before release on the 18th. Let's start up the APU at this point. And let's start getting ready to make ourselves independent from the ground. Navigation lights on. Strobe lights automatic. Beacon lights not just yet. Go to performance. Let's program our takeoff. 2/0. Going to use flaps 2 for takeoff, as Luton has a very short runway. It really is tiny for the service it provides, I must admit. Flex temp is 76, and our V speeds are 131, 132, and 137. That is that. APU is now active, so we'll turn on the APU bleed, disconnect the ground power, and let's now make ourselves independent from the ground. So, anything is still there? Answer is nope, they've all finished their service. Which means I'm now pretty much ready for push and start at this point. You can see there are a few clouds around us, but nothing too crazy at the moment. We'll be able to navigate this no problem. Alright, like I say, I think I'm now ready for push and start. We'll set the altitude to 28,000. I will be needing to use the vertical climb for the flight today, so we'll be able to set that once we're in the air. Flight director's active, auto throttle not just yet, okay. Let's call the pushback tuck and get ourselves going.
Luton ground, easy 153 requesting pushback. Easy 153 pushback request accepted.
We'll turn on the beacon lights now. We'll set the engine igniter to start. And as soon as the aircraft's been lifted, we'll then be ready to make our way. There we go. Parking brake released. There we go. Engine 1 starts. Being an Airbus A320neo, he starts the left-hand engine first before starting the right. In most aircraft, engine 2 then 1, but on this aircraft it actually is the other way around. Engine 1 and 2 is rising, so we have done that correct. Let's request the pushback to steer the aircraft to the left. So it is a bit more of a manual process compared to other simulators that have pushback options. So I'll mention 2 as well while we're at it. And as soon as we're aligned with the taxiway just there, we'll then kill the pushback. So again, timing is key. There's another A320 waiting at gate. We'll kill the pushback. Parking brake active. Ooh, good thing we stopped it there actually. Very close to that terminal building. In fact, our wing is sticking over the edge there. There's the PTU sounding. Ecam is functional. It does give you some pages, but certainly a few more again we'd like to see when the simulator does release, but it's all getting there. It's default aircraft. Nobody expects the world of default stuff, and for what it is, the A320 is phenomenal. It's a lot of fun to fly. It's a lot of fun to take from A to B. I've enjoyed it so far. Right, well, both engines have started now, so we will kill the APU. We shall request taxi to runway.
Luton ground EZ-153 with Sierra ready to taxi IFR. EZ-153 taxi to and hold short of runway 25 via taxiway Alpha. Contact tower on 132.555 when ready. EZ-153 acknowledge last transmission.
So we acknowledge the taxi clearance. Turn on the taxi lights. Quick final check again, make sure that everything is looking good, which it is. Oh, engine ignition off, and also flaps down to 2. Right, parking brake off, a little bit of throttle in. Let's get going, shall we? So runway 25 at Luton does require us to backtrack. Actually quite a fairly lengthy one compared to a lot of airports, as the pitfall of Luton Airport is that it's situated on top of basically a cliff that overlooks the city. So yeah, you got very limited space, very limited area to manoeuvre around. A lot of greenland that surrounds the airport also is protected, and therefore you can't really build much on top of it. I know that Luton recently have mitigated it slightly, so they have built a few new taxiways to get in and around the runway, but certainly a few more things probably should happen in the real world just to make the airport a bit easier to fly through. So taxi to the runway, nice and simple job. So now Airbus A320neo, so a lot of systems are automated. And it should be a good flight, this. Like I say, it's a flight I've done in the real world. It's one that I've done in the Alpha a couple of times as well, just practicing. And so, hopes are high. Just to the right there, you've got the Jets parking area. Luton Airport does see a lot of private traffic, so businessmen coming into London don't want to pay the landing fees of RAF Norfolks. They can land at Luton instead and just drive the hour into Central. Not a terribly long journey. Gonna make a left-hand turn here. It's via taxiway Alpha, wasn't it? Yes, it was. And so when it comes to previews of the Microsoft Flight Simulator, do let me know what you guys would like to see in the future as well. Any routes, any airports, anything that you want to see for me to fly in and out of, because I want to do the simulator justice. I've enjoyed it so far immensely, and I want to make sure that for you guys as well who are interested in getting the platform, you guys see exactly what you want to see, do what you want to do. So any suggestions you have, feel free to let me know either in this chat or via the Discord server in the description. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see what ideas you guys have for future routes. Any continent, any country, day or night, give me a shout and we'll definitely try and schedule something. I'll bring back the throttle ever so slightly, just so we don't go too fast. Hot short points, just coming up and out. Idle that. And then hold position. Let's contact tower. Request takeoff clearance.
Luton Tower Easy 153 ready for IFR departure runway 25. Easy 153 cleared for takeoff runway 25.
Takeoff clearance granted.
Cleared for takeoff runway
Turn on
25.
landing. Turn on landing lights. Sets the brakes to maximum indicator of rejected takeoff. Spoilers armed. Flap set to 2. Let's do this. First flight in Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's been a long while since I last actually showcased any of this platform. It's been a long time since I used FSX. I remember I used to do a good FS Passengers series that actually had a fair bit of interest. People seem to enjoy that one. So perhaps if we do get a career mode in this simulator, then we may bring it back. We have got a virtual Ryanair and X-Plane, which I do ever so often as well, but there's just something about Microsoft Flight Simulator which I am absolutely in love with. The scenery, the modelling, the level of detail, and just about everything. It is fantastic. A few nitty-gritty bits here, but then again, every flight simulator ever has had those nitty-gritty bits, so hopefully these ones will be squashed and removed before the simulator comes out. And I believe it will also be in early access on the 18th, so it will release to the public, but it won't be a full simulator per se. There will be some things that we'll see updates as time goes on. Right, let's censor the aircraft a little bit more. I am happy with that. Engines up 50%. 1 and 2 are stable. Let's get going. $80 knots. V1 rotates. Positive rate, gear up. We will hand fly this initial departure. Ah, there we go. Took a second to jump there. Contacts London Centre.
118.475 for easy 153.
Throttle back to climb. Flaps up 1.
Tap 2681 traffic is 6 o'clock, 2 miles at 100 feet generic. Report them in sight.
Pitch nose down ever so slightly to about 15 degrees. And also contacts London Centre. So as you saw there, that was a TAP Air Portugal calling. So once again, call signs and AI traffic are actually based off of real world traffic. Autopilot active.
153, contact Cranfield
Sets
approach
to
on
climb.
122.855.
Contact Cranfield at this point.
Going to 122.855 easy 153.
Although at some point I probably will just kill the autopilot, so kill the ATC and fly without it.
Tap 2681, have the generic in sight.
Right. So we're now going to be following the departure path out. There, that's a bit more streamlined, isn't it?
BAW978 is climbing through 900 feet for 8,000 feet. BAW978
And as we climb,
as planned, altimeter
a chance to enjoy the scenery that simulator has to offer.
Descend and maintain 10,000 feet log 540. Descend and maintain 5,000 feet easy 188.
Let's increase our rate of climb a little bit.
BAW978 have the generic in sight.
4,000 feet per minute.
Easy 188 descend and maintain 3,000 feet.
We'll also tune out of this frequency, therefore we can just fly quiet today. There we go. As our aircraft loops around, we'll be able to spot Luton Airport, this time from the air. Both the airport and the city as well of Luton. Time right now is close to 7:10, so sun is going to start setting on us, but I do anticipate a full daytime flight. Clouds are relatively high at the moment, so again, nothing going to get in the way of that. Pass through 10,000, we'll turn off the landing lights. And for me, now a chance to sit back, relax, and also enjoy the offering. So head back to the FMS, head to the flight plan. Our next waypoint we're heading to is Olney. At Foyle, we need to manage our top of descent, so we'll be doing 2,000 feet per minute out of Foyle. And then the intercept, I believe, for the ILS at Inverness is at 2,500, if I recall correctly. So we'll be descending down to that. Oh, look, this is just like the first trailer we saw of the aircraft flying through the clouds in the well, during the E3 trailer even. The clouds in this game are phenomenal. Full 3D, full volumetric. The way Asobo have implemented this is just, again, it's phenomenal. There's so much to this simulator that they've done right that it really blows me away how they've actually managed to simulate around this. Nothing compares. Flight dynamics perhaps could be a little bit better, but just the eye candy in this completely blows it away. And aircraft have been improving. The dynamics in the early alphas were definitely shot, and so the aircraft do fly a lot better now than they did, say, 3-4 months ago. What is our speed at the moment? 283, so it has calculated some sort of speed for our flights. We'll leave it on automatic then for now. I'm passing through 20,000 feet, 210 now. The A320 does climb like a rocket. The CFM LEAP 1B engines, that, sorry, 1A engines that it has on board, very powerful things. Compared to the 320ceo, they basically take up like a rocket, so it's nice to see that being taken into account. Perhaps one day we will see a A320ceo add on arrive for the simulator. It'll be interesting to see how they compare with one another, both systems-wise, as well as flight dynamics and capability. We're going to be passing the high altitude cloud there in a moment. Got the satellite imagery below you can just about spot. And again, this is all default. Whatever you see here, there's no mods, no fancy camera tricks or whatever. This is all default simulator. I'm still blown away by just how good this all looks. Oops, there we go. There are moments the aircraft again. It's not perfect, but I'm sure that as time goes on we'll see it start to straighten out again. Pressure set standard altimeter as we pass 6,000. We're now going through 270, 27,000. We are just about to hit our topper cruise. There we go. So, now going to head north. We are currently flying over. That's the flight plan, that's map what I want. Come towards the Velag waypoint. If we zoom out, we're now flying over central England, so we'll actually use Nottingham as a waypoint, at least we fly just past it. We are just to the east of Birmingham right now. Clouds behind us, giving us some more to show. Award-winning aircrafts. That takes us from A to B. Just zoom out on the ND there a second. Just have a look at the route ahead. Yes, we do fly via foil. Foil essentially being a... what is this? It's like the one waypoint that borders between main Scotland and the rest of the Highlands. I'm also looking at that final bit there. We'll have a look at it in a bit more detail. Let's go by step modes. Yeah, so that detail point obviously sends something off a bit. At that point we're going to be using manual vectors to guide the aircraft in before landing on runway 23. It still is 23 at the moment, so we'll be programming that. Again, not difficult things to do. There's no stars here, so it'll just be a direct point. Insert that. In fact, it looks like maybe even cleared up the detail point as well. Yeah, that looks much better actually. So go down a few more waypoints. We overfly the airfield. Now, I'm not going to do that. What we're actually going to do is go to the east and then kind of fly downfield before heading back towards the airport. So we're not going to overfly it. We're going to be doing something a little bit different to what the FMS is telling us to. But again, all of the aim of showing off some of the scenery at low altitude, as well as getting more of a feel for the aircraft as well. One thing I can imagine, the time lapses you can get out of the simulator. The clouds, the ground scenery, just the way it all flows. There is so much that this simulator can unlock in terms of flying in the real world. As a screenshot tool as well, I mean, it's every house, every road, every pathway on the ground, and it's right there, all in one package. I am using the online streaming scene at the moment, so this is satellite images being downloaded as we fly along. Again, at some point we may even have a look at the offline mode and see the difference between live and offline. Yeah, just one look at the world below, and this simulator really does blow you away with its level of detail. At some point as well, we'll also do some GA flying. So, one aircraft that is featured in the simulator is the Flight Design CTSL. Now, the first ever aircraft flew in the real world was a Flight Design CTSW, so it's a short-wing version of CTSL, although in terms of the cockpit layout and the flight dynamics and all that, it's very similar to what I flew in real life. So, at some point for sure, I'll be doing a video kind of just looking at, or even just recreating, my first ever real-world flight in the simulator, which was from Elstree to Duxford. So the Elstree to Duxford, another return Duxford to Elstree. The return also crossing over the Luton Airport's transects, which again, if you ever get an opportunity to fly across an airport in real life in a GA aircraft, take it, because it is, again, a phenomenal experience just being over the commercial jetliners in your flying washing machine. I have a lot of respect for X-Plane, I will say. The flight dynamics in X-Plane are phenomenal, and 5 years ago when that simulator came out, OpenStreetMap data to recreate the world as scenery was unheard of. It was the future. Half a decade later, we've now got this. But there's so much to talk about, so much to see, so much to do. PMDG as well, and that's in the 737 NG3 for the first quarter of 2021. The 737 in this simulator is going to be phenomenal, and I do hope I get maybe even a chance to have a bit of fun early access with that as well, but I'm not connected to PMDG anyway, so probably not. But even then, I have got the NGXU for P3D, and therefore I only pay $40 when it does come out. how are we doing so far? Reset the flight plan page. Next waypoint is going to be Pol. I presume that's Polsworth. We hit foil at 1822, so we're not far off it. 1816 right now. At foil, we descend down to 230, 23,000. Then that would be our first step over the Highlands. And then if I look at the flight plan again, top of descent, yeah, we enter Scottish Centre, that's fine. It's again, it's after foil, so we descend to 23,000. And then by Urson, which we don't have because we don't have the waypoint, we then continue our descent down to, confirm that again, it is 2,500, yes, for the Incept's ILS runway 23. Over there, you can now spot, well, that'll be the coast around Liverpool and Manchester. No, that's not. It's a bit further north, I believe, actually. Golf, November, Golf. Yeah, because Liverpool, sorry, is actually a bit more south, so somewhere over there will be Liverpool and Manchester. We're going to be flying over Polsworth very shortly. That also forms as our entry into Scotland. And then it's a straightforward route the rest of the way. Also, we get to possibly spot Feshy Bridge out of the right hand side window as well. Feshy Bridge, for those who don't know, is the airport I did gliding from last year. Lived last year actually, I did it in March. So when I flew to Inverness, I went down to Newtonmore, and from Newtonmore I went to Feshy Bridge, did some gliding. So actually this was the same trip as this one I'm doing right now. It's all a tenuous link at the end of the day, it all adds up. Also, I should check. Did I disarm the spoilers? No, I did not. Let's drop that back down again. So, like I say, what would you guys like to see in future flight sim videos? Any routes, any airports, any destination, any aircraft even? The list of aircraft that are currently out is available on the Asobo Microsoft Games store page. At the moment, we've essentially got all the content that we get in the basic package. So none of the premium stuff. We don't get like fancy London Heathrow or the 787. We have just got the standard aircraft, standard airports and sceneries. But if there's anything in particular you guys would like to see, then again, do give us a shout. And at some point, we'll take a in-depth look at what the simulator has to offer. Oh, just take a look at that. That is phenomenal. So, welcome to Scotland, guys. We're a little bit turbulent at the moment. Winds are starting to batter us across. It's currently 51 knots, up to 61 knots even. Yeah, it's gusting. There are some changes in directions, so that actually does explain a little bit of why the aircraft is rocking slightly from side to side. Although it is a tailwind, so as a result, it does mean that our speed's certainly going to be benefited by that. So cloud ladders take a drop ahead of us as well. So give me 2 seconds. Yeah, so Asobo and Microsoft Flight Simulator have partnered with Meteo Blue for the worldwide weather service. And combined with the weather engine that Simulator provides, it does give us, like I say, some very spectacular sights to look out for. Cloud shadows also work as well, so if there's cloud above and the light flies through it, it will refract the light, and therefore provide some shadow, provide some lighting as you go down different layers. And yeah, there's certainly lots to keep an eye out for. Next time there's like a storm or a hurricane or something going on in the world, then definitely I'm going to try and catch a glimpse of that, see how the high-speed winds get simulated in that. And there is a service seeing the simulator of 400,000 feet, I believe it is. So if I was to go into slew mode and just go up and up and up and up and up, you can get to about 400,000 before it stops you. So much higher than the FSX Ultrafast of 99,999, and a chance to actually enjoy some low orbit space as well. But the Meteo Blue weather simulation, just the way that, again, it just injects the weather so calmly into the simulator, and it just does a phenomenal job of just filling the world. And drone cam, I am also completely in love with. You get full reign over wherever your camera's facing, wherever you're pointing, and it just works so well. Although sadly, we are missing a flyby camera. Now again, for those who do watch my FSX videos, will know, even FSX and X-Plane videos, you'll know that flyby cam is my favourite. The camera's stationary and it watches the aircraft fly past. Asobo, if you're watching this, please give us flyby mode, because it's the one thing I can't live without. The sound of the Doppler as the engines fly past, the different engine sounds as well as you go around it. That's all I ask for. Give us, please give us the flyby camera. Yeah, 1836 we're going to hit foil, going 1829, so in a matter of 7 minutes, we'll start our descent to 23,000. And then, after foil, we'll continue our descent at around 2,000 feet per minute. We'll get ourselves onto the ILS at Inverness, we'll bring the aircraft into land, and then we shall bring our first look at Microsoft Flight Simulator to an end for today. But do keep out for more. I plan to squeeze as much, like I say, out of this as possible, so that you guys can get a full understanding of what the simulator will include. And yeah, certainly something that I'm going to definitely enjoy. There we go, next waypoint coming up, Tango Lima Alpha. Foil just 60 miles away from us now. Yeah, we're in the clouds right now. Not much to look outside, but a chance to see the volumetric capabilities. So, as you can see, we are now inside this cloud. The visibility outside is now very limited. You can't see the ground from here at all. And, well, pretty much the only light source we got is the top of the clouds where we're relatively low, well, relatively high in this. And the sun that just about shines through that. But again, it dims down a lot because of the clouds. And therefore, it's not just a massive glaring wall in front of us when we do stare at it. There's just so much tiny little detail that's been taken into account for that. There's just so much to talk about and so little time. Fall's coming up now also very shortly as well, 40 miles away, so we will start to anticipate a top of descent. So we actually need to be at 23,000 by the time we do reach that point, so I'll wait until maybe 20 miles out before we start our initial descent. And then we'll take a look down that. Let's have a look a little more at the FMS what it offers us. So, radio navigation frequency, that's all automatic as you get in the Airbus A320 aircraft. So, 108.5 frequency, course 229 for the ILS runway 23 at Inverness. Very nice. No airport information. We have got fuel predictions as well, although not fully functional just yet. No second flight plan, I'm afraid, or ATC communication. We do get the data index, so we do get some of the position information and all of that, as well as the option to freeze the IRS if you really wanted to. I am not going to do that. Initialization we've already looked at, performance we've already looked at. We'll start looking to programming the approach phase as well, once we do hit that. Also grab the METAR information for the airports on top of descents. Program mode, so you've got your different aircraft setups, and then also directs to if you want to as well. So, for example, we're heading towards foil, just because of the way the flight plan curves around. We won't go direct to the waypoint as such, but perhaps I can do that. Yeah, so you can see we can actually fly direct to waypoints as well. That's a feature that works absolutely no problem. And yeah, it's not bad for default aircraft by any means. It's very nicely detailed, and it works as you'd expect. And especially once the third-party add-on developers start coming in and playing around with it. Functionality, I can only imagine, just goes straight through the roof of how great aircraft are. And you never know, I mean, people talk about a Zybo-like add-on for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I personally don't believe that, at least the Luca Zybeck himself won't be doing anything in the simulator, because the development cycle for X-Plane is completely different to Microsoft Flight Simulator. The SDKs are completely different, and it always has been a very different side of things. So X-Plane can do everything natively within the sim. P3D and FSX use a lot more third-party tools, and I believe this will go on to the same kind of workflow. But you never know, there could be a group of people out there who do step up to the challenge and potentially upgrade the default A320 to include a lot more features and functionality as well. The challenge is there, people certainly are up for it, so you never know where things may lead going forwards. We'll start our initial descent now to 23, starting at 2,000 feet per minute. There we go. Right, so now passing through 27,000. It's not really descending as much as I thought it would be. There you go, it's much better. So, down to 23,000, or continue down to 2,500 once we reach the foil waypoints. I have turned on the terrain on ND, as we are going to be descending over the Scottish Highlands, therefore the altitude here does actually increase quite considerably compared to the Scottish coastline. And Inverness is on the coast, so it is a low altitude airport we're going to have to glide down to. There you go, passing through foil now. Another layer of clouds below. Whoa, who's that? Who is that? I don't know, but I wasn't expecting him. In fact, I think I might know. I think I know who that is. I'll just, I might confirm that. Alright, passing through 24,000. Like I said, we'll go down to 2,500. Let's switch that across. There we go. Yeah, I know exactly who that is. You can see some of the icing effects now starting to take place as well. We are flying through freezing fog. And that 320 is just coming out of view there. Very nice. I'll send a message of thanks to that guy later on. Alright, let's continue our descent. I'm going to be leaving the cloud layer hopefully soon. There's a break just below us. Again, just look at that, how beautiful it is. They're breaking the cloud. You've got another layer right there. Just the eye candy is on a complete different level. Oops, a bit of turbulence again. I can hear him again. There he is. It's coming in very close, I must admit. But that's the fun of the multiplayer here in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So actually, now a chance to talk about multiplayer. This is a real user right now, also in multiplayer modes. Currently following the progress of my flights, currently flying right behind me. So you are able to connect to any user in the world, regardless of if they're online or offline. So there are two modes. You can fly with, actually three modes. You can fly with no other user whatsoever. You can fly with those who are flying for just online. And then also you have a mix of both the offline and online players. So the offline players can't see you, but you can see them, which again is a nice way of just populating the sky, giving you more to look at. Now passing through 17,500. Let's get some weather information now at Inverness. Echo Golf, Papa Echo, Meta. All MetSat, always a nice website to use. Let's grab the information we require. Oops, there he is. Got a bit too close there, so he did faded and out of view. This was completely unplanned. Just came out of nowhere. Right, let's start programming this approaching, shall we? So QNH will be it's 1004 hectopascals. So inches 29665, really. 29. Actually, it is QNH, isn't it? So this will accept 1004. Yes, it will. Temperature right now in Inverness is 25 centigrade. Magnitude on wind is currently 8 knots at 200. Decision height will be 100. V-speed, there you go. Calculates it to 159. So as soon as we are ready to switch over to approach mode, that will then take into account what we need. Passing through 12,000, I'll probably slow down the rate of descent slightly to 1,000 feet per minute. And then monitor our approach the rest of the way down. Oh yes, the middle mouse button blocks the camera and lets you look around, so whenever I'm transitioning between my two monitors to get the information I require, sometimes the mouse is just toggling instead. Alright, pass through 115 now. Highlands now visible down below, a little bit of snow, as the Scottish Highlands do give you some permafrost in different locations, but not too often. I zoom in. Feshy Bridge, I talked about where I did my gliding, will just be to our right hand side shortly, as we hit the nesty waypoints. So do keep an eye out for that one. We will level off at 10,000 before descending any further. And also, note how dark it is now in the cockpit. Because the sun has been blocked out by the different layers of clouds, it does also take that into account in the cockpit, and all of a sudden, it's a lot darker. No lights coming in from the outside. It's a beautiful engine, this. So, somewhere down there is going to be Newtonmore, the Cairngorms, and Feshy. You can see the road curving around. There is a town down there. Trying to break away there. Fantastic stuff. Alright, so let's make a right hand turn now. Ahead 040. We've passed through 10,000 now, so we'll turn on the landing lights. We'll also hold our descent. Just for a little bit. So you can now see the North Sea just on the horizon there. And so if we break away now to the east of the airfield. We'll fly downwind and then bring the aircraft in for an approach. Right, in a couple of moments we'll start our next stage of descents. Sun's starting to set now, so an orange glow coming through the clouds there. Start again descending at about 500 feet per minute at this stage. Flaps and gear we won't be doing just yet. We'll wait until we're pretty much on the final before we start dumping the other speed. We're going at 195 knots at the moment, so that's certainly not the fastest bit of descent. But with the airport only 15 miles away, it's time we did start thinking about slowing down. Wind farm just in the distance there. Again, another thing that Scotland has a lot of, wind farms. You've got some on land, you've got quite a few off the coast as well in the North Sea. And that's all part of the United Kingdom's plans of renewable energy. There he is again. Trust me, the moment you guys get to play the sim for yourself and enjoy the scenery down below, you'll be flabbergasted. You'll be blown away by just the level of detail you get from the ground. I mean, the satellite imagery scenery is the big selling point of the simulator, and let me tell you, it is the big selling point of this simulator. It just looks so fantastic, regardless of where in the world you are. I've been to a fair number of countries in the alpha so far. And there's just so much to do, so much to see. You're never going to be able to cover it all. Alright, in a couple of moments we'll start getting ready for a left-hand turn. That'll get us onto an intercept with the ILS. We'll start making a turn now to 030. We'll keep our descent rate at 500 feet per minute, because that seems to be doing us rather fine at the moment. And hopefully, if all goes to plan, we'll be able to Well, butter the bread on this landing. Let's make it nice and smooth for all of us. That's just background noise you can hear out of an open window. It's 34 degrees centigrade in London today. It's crazy hot. Right, somewhere over there will be the town, or the city of Inverness, the capital of the Scottish Highlands, and to my immediate left, I should also be able to spot the airport as well, which I think I can. It's a little bit hazy. We'll increase our descent rate now to 1,000 feet per minute. Again, another wind farm to our right hand sides, and more rolling hills. Zoom one more in the MD there, the distance. 7.5 miles from the intercepts. Start a left-hand turn heading. We'll go 340. Flaps down 1. Another left-hand turn, or head going, whoops, a bit too far out there. 300. Also increase our descent rates to 2,000 feet per minute. Get as close to that 2,500 feet mark as possible in this latter stage. We'll do another set of flaps. Flaps 3. Turn on the landing monitor. We'll turn on approach modes, and already we have captured the localizer. So we'll let the aircraft now fly us in towards the runway, and we'll let it do the rest. You can also see the terrain starting to glow up on the ND there. In this case, you can see what the land is and what the water is, because we are now past all the hills and mountains to the sides, so nothing to worry about there. And just again, just look at that. Just how beautiful this is. Gear down. Flaps down to 4. We've got this guy then getting down below us still. And the runway is now in sight. Right, let's prepare the aircraft for landing. Spoilers armed. Brakes set. I did turn on the approach phase, right? If not, we'll activate it now. There you go. Already active, that's fine. QNH 1004. Which is a 296A if I recall correctly. We'll turn off the terrain mode just so we can get a clear view of the runway ahead of us. And there you go, the aircraft's now fully captured on the glide slope. And we'll then start to bring us down. At 1000 we'll take manual control. And we'll bring the aircraft the rest of the way in. Oops. I must admit, it's been very fidgety, the autopilots today. Wind's currently 25 knots to 217, so it's a strong headwind. I think at this point, we will take manual control, so autopilot off. Let's guide it the rest of the way in. We'll leave auto throttle on. Let's keep the speed of 140 knots. Which seems to be working rather well for us at the moment. Alright, gear down, 3 greens, flaps are set to full. Spoilers armed. Let's bring the aircraft into land.
$1,000.
1000, we are in manual control. We're a little bit low ourselves, so we'll pull back on the nose a tiny bit to follow the diamonds down. And again, 2 reds and 2 whites for the glide slope. I'm watching the aircraft ahead of me. Hopefully he will be clear by the time I'm down.
300. 200. 100. 60. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 5.
Best thrust sets. 80 knots. 60 knots cut. And there we have it. Welcome to Inverness. Not a bad landing by any means. I must say, rather proud of that flight. Probably couldn't have gone much better than it did. Right, so we're taxiing now to the terminal. Terminal's just to the right hand side. And I know for a fact that services in Inverness aren't quite accurate to hold jet aircrafts. And so we'll bring the aircraft to the terminal and then bring the preview today to an end. Hold the brakes. Right hand turn. APU start. Landing lights off, taxi lights set, and flaps up. Now the terminal in Inverness, it is semi there. There are features of it that I do recognise from the real life airport. The roof, however, maybe not so, but overall it does look very, very good. Right, wide the throttle, and bring up now to the stop point, which would be about here. Parking brake sets. APU is active. So APU bleed. Whoops, not that one. Sorry, that one on. Engines off. So we'll turn off the beacon lights. No need actually. It cuts the landing in there. So this is your logbook. It shows you the flight results at the end. So departed at 17:39, landed at 18:41. It was a 1 hour and 2 minute flight time overall, and we recorded 1 day takeoff and 1 day landing. We can go back to the menu, or we can continue if you want and do other stuff instead. So we'll turn off all the lights you don't require. Turn off the nose lights. APU is running. There are no ground services here at Inverness for jet, like I say. Yeah, we got pushback, but that's about it. And so I think with that, and as the sun is setting over the Scottish Highlands, it's a nice chance to bring this first preview to an end. So I hope you guys are excited as I am about the upcoming Microsoft Flight Simulator, because like I say, from what I've seen so far, there's a lot going on and it truly is phenomenal. And being part of this beta preview, it is a privilege. It is a privilege to be able to be one of the first people to actually be bringing the simulator to you and to show you what it has to offer. I mean, just looking at the scene right now, it's phenomenal. It really is. So, yeah, I thank you guys very much for watching this today. Do leave a like if you did enjoy it. Do subscribe as well if you haven't done so already. Any suggestions of what you want to see in the future, do let me know either on this chat or via my Discord server. Link is in the description. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys again with us in the very near future. Take care, have a very good weekend, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.